different. We're not playing with four-wheel drives or caravans. We're playing with an old bulldozer. So it's an early 1950s Field Marshal, VF. I'll hand over to Rob and he can tell you a little bit more about it. Rob?
Single cylinder, about 40 horsepower. It's probably sat in here for about, I backed it in last, that may be 6 or 7 years ago. So we're just going through, cruising it, getting it ready. And that's going to take just a couple of hours just to go through, check everything out, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll start.
So how does it start, Rob?
We use a 12-gauge shotgun cartridge.
Something a bit different.
So, from our previous video, where the Blitz is still in the creek, this is going to be getting the Blitz out of the creek. So that's the plan.
Alrighty. Well, we'll keep doing our checks and we'll see if she starts.
Works a 12-hour day, sun up till sundown. He's doing what he can to make the wheels go round. In the shed.
Alright, Grandpa, can you just tell us a little bit of information about what type of bulldozer it is and what we're going to do?
It's a Fowler VF. It's about 1953, 1954. Most certainly made in England, only in England. And they were known, their reputation is, for the 40 horsepower they produce, they would work for 1 hour on 1 gallon of fuel, which is considered pretty economical, very economical. That fuel being diesel.
Yeah. So what are we going to do now?
What we're going to do now, this machine, we parked it in this shed here probably 7 or 8 years ago. We drove it in. Now, hang on, Rob. I just heard it there. Yes. Now, if you can bring the camera under here, Jake. Yeah. I'm going to put my, and has that got a sensitive sound pickup?
Yeah. Hold on. I'll get a little bit more.
I just heard it already.
Yeah.
Because Robert just turned half a turn. Now he's going to wind it over and we're going to hear what's called the injector cracking. It means that the fuel injection pump build up its high pressure that it needs for the injector, and it needs that high pressure to lift a valve, and then the fuel atomizes in the combustion chamber. Now we're going to hear it now. He's going to crank it now. Can you hear that, Rob? Yeah.
So Rob, what have you got there?
That's the cover.
That's
the
the bridge.
firing. Yeah, the firing
I think
pin.
that's referred to as the bridge.
So there's in there. You can see the firing pin. So you hit that with a hammer onto the cartridge.
Okay, so here's the cartridge. It's the same physical look as a 12 gauge, but it most certainly isn't. That's all charge in there. Anyway, we're going to put that in there. We check the firing pin. Put that in the breech. these are the ignition papers. It's just, it's actually blotting paper, and it's been soaked in something called potassium nitrate, or better known as saltpeter. And it, when it burns like cigarette paper, rice paper. So I've just rolled that up. No. We've actually, you can see the air filter, the primary air filter. We've removed it. If you want to swing the camera around, Jake, and you'll just see it there on the back of the truck. I've removed it only, and we've got a plate of material there, so it's a means to actually cover the air intake. Just in case we start it today, it hasn't been run for, as I said before, 7 or 8 years or something. In case the governor wasn't controlling, we'd be able to stop the engine.
Two hours later.
It is at neutral, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we're turning it over, so.
Ready?
He's a member of the Outback Club. You don't back down and you don't give up. But he's living in the land he loves. Born and raised, he's a member of the Outback Club. She rides the boundary fences with the blows. Trucking the stock, or maybe working the mob. They got one thing in common: the country heart and soul. members of the Outback Club. They don't back down